We don't often start the video with showing you the end, but I think you might want to hang on for this one. Yeah. Chris, not many days you get a 50, maybe 50 pound plus stringer here. We're gonna let these go, but
yep, it was a lot of fun. Yep, Husky Jerks for sure.
We're gonna grab Captain Chris, if you know him from our boat project and fishing just almost really 20 years. He also does some guiding and stuff with us. At any rate, we're going to go out and just kind of play around, do a little scouting for some future trips, and we're really going to start, I think, to see some things change here. That water temperature's coming up. We had a little bit of stable weather here. We had some west winds, and that water temperature's going to start to climb. The other big thing to kind of look for in this early spring is when you start seeing those near full moons or full moons, I can promise you that is going to mean we need to start looking at those fish moving into spawn, and we also need to put our seatbelt on so we don't get in trouble. But here's the deal. We're going to try a whole bunch of different stuff. We're going to run around and scout, but I think you're going to see, even though we're going to be pulling crankbaits, it's going to be a little bit different approach if I had to guess. So we'll see how far off.
Chris, do you like how I always make you drive when we're there?
Of course.
Do you
Put me to work.
Do you feel like Miss Daisy?
Yeah. Yeah, they thought I had a snag, but I got one.
On the setup?
Yeah, just letting it out.
Well, that's when you know you got her kind of figured out. Now, so Chris, here's the deal we're going to talk about. Country Steve has been, I think, a little jealous because he hasn't been around. You know, it's too much working, adulting and stuff. But he's tired of seeing Bob do egg salad sandwiches in the boat. So I know you're kind of a candy bar and pop guy. What do you make of all this Bob play on the videos? I mean, marginal?
Yeah. Yeah. It's B team for a reason.
Wow, the quiet guy striking. Bring it over here.
Oh, let's pick you back and letting it out.
Got a little doctoring on that bait. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I just put some extra foil on there for some flash.
You know why? Because that bait is about 20-year-old Husky Jerk right there. They don't even make them like that anymore. It's a little different now. They got a little more silver to them. So Chris, 5 minutes in, maybe, 2 fish, 1 on the setup. Middle board going hard. I like when they really, like, there's no guessing. Even the new guy that works at the bakery knows that there's a fish on there, all right? So talking to these people a little bit, like we always talk about the high-speed marking, like that's kind of the deal, right? To narrow this water down, try to get away from everybody a little bit. But here's kind of the caveat. Like these fish, now that this temperature's in the 40s, they're probably starting to spawn. Like stopping and starting, now that temperature's kind of stabilized, we got full moon stuff going on, right? So the thing that you guys want to kind of pay attention to is we're in different water now. We're in less than 25 feet of water, kind of a whole different deal. And when you're doing that, we marked fish in like 25 feet, right? But the thing is you're not gonna see all of those fish, especially the ones we're targeting. Like, cause where we're catching these first couple anyhow are so high in the column that you can't trust on marking those. Is that fair?
Yeah, because like say the diameter of the cone angle of the transducer is so narrow that you'd have to be right on top of them.
Right. And so the long and the short of it is, just because you don't see them on the screen, like just the other day we were whacking.
Oh wait, we just got another one on.
Oh, I told you the outside was going. The thing is yeah, we need more hands. Maybe we do need B team Bob. I don't know. We just lose it anyhow, you know what I mean? But the other day we were just whacking fish. I literally never marked a single one. And so the cleaner the water, even the more so that's gonna happen. So we got to do a little work here. I'm gonna try to take that up this way. Yep. So that outside is almost in Toledo right now. It's pulled back about 100 feet. I mean, literally. Oh. So do you have any other tips you'd like to share with me or the people? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
My God. Oh my God, Becky. Becky, look at that butt. And I want you guys to see this. Now, we told you in our last video of B-Team Bob what the lure was. Right there.
Wow.
And you told me you've been doing some chrome domes, but don't sleep on this new one. That bait has been absolute fire for me all winter.
Beautiful fish.
We're gonna take a picture of this big old sloppy naughty. Look at that. Chris, don't stand around. We got another fish to get. I'm snapping my mouth. There's a reason, because we're retimed. After 20 some years together, Chris is on probation. Even though we have one on this side, we have on this side, we have just a whole lot going on, and I've never had to put him on timeout. But Chris is in timeout. Now we lost the fish, we lost the bait, we lost my mind. But at any rate, here we go, Husky Jerk City. You know, you remember me and you fishing together back in the day, and we'd run six Husky Jerks, and that's all we had in the water. And now we're doing it again. Super cold water, not super dirty, is the recipe for Huskies. It's just that perfectly suspending. You can fish them really slow. And we got a double. And we only got 4 lines in the water because we're still on Chris's timeout. Oh yeah, look at those short arms. Go get that thing. God, you know, we got Bob out. Now I feel like it's nice to bring Bob back. Starting with 2 demerits. Oh. I'm gonna go over the top of you. We have an absolute dumpster fire here. I'm gonna hit the old hummingbird.
That's another, this is a nice one.
Chris is calling net. Chris calling net. Oh my. Ooh, this is, oh God, almost fell out of the damn boat. Take this, take the net. Got it. Show the camera a little bit. So, we are really doing a poor job of hiding things. So what we got going on is those first three of the 4 were on those new color Huskies. Well, new chrome blue. Chrome blue is a tough one to beat, fellas. Look at that. Not even gonna be in the, that might be a post spawner. All right, we got too much work to do here. Chris, for your own, for our friendship, I turned the camera off. When you have a fish on every rod, I'm not gonna lie to you, we had a what not to do moments. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, we're working through this. We're gonna take a mental timeout. I would take it over here, but that's, so we're just gonna try to, I mean, you're in everything. This is why we have our rules and regulations. People wonder why I'm a boat Nazi, and we have our rules and regulations. This is why, because we don't have these problems. So we're gonna, you really gotta, you can get in a bad way catching fish. That's kind of what happened to us, to be perfectly honest. So, another reason we really like to spread when you can't get on those fish as quick as you want to, because you have another one, make sure those boards are really spread far apart, and that way they won't tangle up in each other. So Chris, our camera work is about as bad as our board work. However, we have three rods on this side, right? Go ahead and take that medium one there. Just don't block the camera. And inside going, outside, middle. Yep. Again, the deal with this is still though, a lot of times you're gonna wanna use your eyeballs, right, this time of year. And we're fishing right in those transitions. Like, we don't wanna be in the pure mud, and we don't wanna be in the gin clear. There just doesn't seem to be as many catchable fish in the muddy water and as many fish in the clean water. Is that kind of what you think?
For sure.
This one feels a little heavy. A little heavy. So we are doing something I don't like to ever do. We are running all 6 Husky Jerks. I like to kind of use some different stuff, mix them in, at least one on a side or whatever. But, and we don't have any rods over here.
No, we haven't had time to get it set.
do the 1-2 scoop. Oh, look at this one. This pooped all up in the boat. I can get it. Yeah. Oh my. And this is really one of those things where a difference maker is something as simple as making sure your boards are really spread out will make a big difference. And if you are popping your boards, you know, don't necessarily pop them when you don't have to, like right now, like Chris didn't, so that we don't have both of these lines on top of each other. Oh yeah, this is a giant. Okay, we are perfect. So, this is naughty. Folks, look at folks at home, folks at home, folks at home. This is what's known as a 10. This is a 10-pounder right here, folks, on the chrome blue Husky. Folks at home, Husky Jerk number 12. Oh my, oh my. Christopher, that might be over.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
T-bone. Chris, talk to me what's happening right now.
Well, I let it out, put it back.
Okay.
Tried to hook my board on, and ripped the line right out of my hand.
Good problems. Good problems. Good problems.
That actually feels like a pretty good one.
Well, we've had that before. What do you want your purple one at? Or does it matter?
It don't matter. Like I said, I switched this one up to go 50 and didn't even get the board on.
Okay.
About ready. Right on the corner.
Oh yeah. Okay, take it.
Lake Erie walleye.
You know, Chris, in a lot of these videos we talk about efficiency. I'm not so sure that we're really being efficient right now. But it doesn't matter when you're doing the right thing, I guess. Even though we probably could catch a few more. When you only got one guy to reel and we're trying to do some camera work, because producer dude is working on a walkthrough video for us today. And that doesn't help us out a whole lot, right? We still got that one that was on the outside though.
You know, but the problem is I keep setting them out and I caught another one before getting the board on again.
Right now?
Yeah.
So here's the ultimate efficiency. We have a new video. That is 2 times in a row. Chris says we do not need boards. No boards. Not necessary.
I can't get it hooked up.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy.
And what's funny is it's a different color lure too.
Yeah, you know, the color really hasn't mattered with those. A lot of the new stuff is really working good. The chrome purple, the gold, the Wonder Bread. Okay, pull some line out. This one was chasing some of that punani, you know what I'm saying, fellas? And it didn't work out so good for him. Although, this would be the luckiest walleye in Lake Erie, because everybody else would be eating him for sure. And we're not. But yeah, that's like my little doctoring job there. Yeah. It's a little ugly. It's a little ugly, but you know what, it worked. So we're gonna go back to this one. I'm actually gonna crank one in here. We've had this fish on the outside for quite a while. Bear with us with our horrible camera work into the sun, the whole deal. It probably just looks like a big old just blacked out eclipse face, but probably let's talk with some of the keys that are doing this. You see guys catching fish nonstop, and it's like, okay, great. Like this is unedited, pretty much straight through. But the speed and the angle really, really matter, don't they? Like how many times, you know, when we spun, you know, we weren't catching them as good. You get back on that track because there's current, even if you don't think there's current. So, you start setting, I got this. We need some lines in the water, bro. But Chris is an old tournament fisherman. You know, me and you both have fished a ton of them. And you fish, whoa, whoa. The Vulcan death grip just died for a minute. Oh, he's pooping all over me. Whew. But you know, these guys are all color crazy that watch these videos because I think they just think if I put that color lure out, now I'm catching, right? But for you, I know you're big on, you think that there are certain colors a lot of times that just catch bigger fish. Is that right?
Yeah.
So give me a little bit on that.
So I think a lot of times the color can change with it, but you'll find that sometimes going through colors and finding the right one that the bigger ones want can make a difference.
And so that may not be necessarily a color to load the boat.
Yep.
So, and how important, I mean, you know, I'm anti-color as far as, because people aren't, they don't even listen to the, you know, the high-speed marking. They just want to like drive out to a pack of boats, right? So it's like on that list of things, it's like 8 or 9. But obviously I know you pay attention to color because, I mean, you're dialed in, you're guiding, you're fishing some tournaments. Like it obviously matters, just not as important as everybody's focus, right? Like we've got 6 completely different baits on right now and we're catching, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna make this your middle since we have a fish on my side. So Chris, I don't normally I get worked up in the boat, you already know that, but I normally don't get out of like sync. I'm out of sync right now. So we're gonna have to do like we do in guide trips. We're gonna say the counter out loud because I don't even feel like we're getting stuff reset. That's the base. See the tape on there? That means that was a screw up rod, but we got that back in the water.
It's got a detention.
Yeah. This is called the detention show. Yeah. There is no doubt Chris is serving an after school suspension. I'm borderline myself right now. This is insanity. But it's kind of like, you know, when you're winning, it's like a basketball team. There's no problems when you're winning. But as soon as you start not winning, then everybody wants to transfer and fire and everything.
But the problem is, I mean, in my defense,
this ought to be good. This has
been a Chinese fire drill since we started.
Yeah, but
this
we didn't help
been
ourselves.
just
Chris, we're supposed to be good at this though. not aside from, oh my god, we're double down over here. You can see that right there. We're gonna pop this around. This is a little bit of good pandemonium. Yours looks like it's little. Mine is feeling big, to be perfectly honest with you. So if you back up, I will help you. I had to take my jacket off. I was getting a little warm from all this exercise.
Yeah, that's the most fish I think I've seen you reel in.
Yeah, I don't.
Usually you make everybody else reel in.
I do. I don't have a choice right now between probation and the amount of fish that were coming in. And I did see those donkeys, you know. We've got 2 fish that are like, oh, we got inside one. Ooh. We've got a couple fish over 12 in the live well. So Chris, you know, the little tips that work big here is when you have outside board. So what we're gonna do is first put the reel down just a touch, take some stretch out of that. Clickers on. I don't people are like, oh, I need a clicker on your video. I'm like, well, you're stupid, okay? Because you want, we catch fish because of that, right? Like we just saw these hits.
Yep.
You're catching them on the way out. You're missing a lot of bites, especially when you're going really slow like this. It presents that a little bit differently.
Yep, plus with the way this bite is, I mean, it's allowing us to get things set back at a reasonable pace, but we're still catching them as they're going out.
I mean, this is absolutely, we're gonna call this the probation show, because this is a dumpster fire. I've never seen Chris like this. I mean, we're gonna talk about this for years to come. We talk about the good, we talk about the bad, the ugly. This is the best ugly fishing I've ever seen, right?
Like I said, it's been a fire drill since we started.
Yeah,
I mean, these are the days you just kind of like dream of.
I really do. So we've got a pretty good one here on the middle board, and we are rigging these to pop, something we can kind of playing with. Going this slow, it is really tough. Like you're gonna possibly have more tangles because it's tough to let that swing around when you're going this slow because the fish can swim where he wants, and that also means into your other line. So I kind of half just take up tension, and so I have a little bit on, so we're kind of forcing it, but we got to wait those extra few seconds to let that come around, or you're going to grab everything, and it's a bad deal. So I know B team, he likes to stick the thing in the rod holder. I like to have it in my hand because sometimes I will take it up a little bit. And this is a little better one, I can tell you that. So we've got 3 fish on right now, but Chris is actually, instead of reeling fish, he's clearing, because what we're gonna do is once we get these in, yeah, look what you guys going on. Yeah. We're going to pick up, even though it's super flat calm, and go back so we don't have to waste any time. It's actually gonna be more efficient in this case, and we're gonna reset those lines. Chris, explain what happened the last 45 minutes or so.
I mean, it's just been constant fish after fish.
How many demerits do you think you deserve?
I probably got at least 5.
Self-admitted 5 demerits, that probably means 12, but here's the deal. We're catching. So winning overtakes a lot of that, but we're gonna go set back up, even though it's flat calm. A lot of times you wanna go a certain direction with the current, you know, kind of, there's no waves, but that makes a big difference. So here we go.